Haud
your
Wheesht.
Welcome to Haud your Wheesht, the podcast where we do everything but Haud our Wheesht. My name's Erin, aka Beauty Creep on YouTube, and today I'm joined with Mosco, aka Wee Scottish Lass.
Hello.
And Shaun, aka Shaun Vlog.
Hello.
I don't know why I can't do the intro without speaking like an idiot. So, in this week's episode, we'll be talking about friendships. And I have quite a few questions, but also I'm not just gonna list out questions and have us answer them. I want us to just have a general chat about friendships. By the way, see, whenever I say general on a YouTube video, people think I'm saying genital. And I was just so aware of that there.
Say them side by side.
Genital. No, wait, I said that weird. Genital.
They're pretty close.
Genital.
They're close, but I think if you've got a Scottish speaking accent, you can hear the difference. But if you're from somewhere else, you might confuse them.
Yeah, it's the R's and the T's. Obviously, someone, say for example from the US, would say, for general with the R, they would say, for genital with the T, they would say general, which sounds like general in a Scottish accent. Screw your space, whatever it is, space ghetto and all that. I've found a new one.
Brilliant. There's so many words like that though that people
I know.
Laugh at us for because we can't say properly or we get words.
Yeah, purple burglar alarm. There's someone that comments on every video of mine as well saying, say purple burglar alarm.
It's
every
not
single video.
It's not burglar. Yeah. It's a burglarly. No.
Burglary.
Yeah, that one. I can't say that one.
See, it's so underwhelming, and he keeps asking me to say it, and I'm like, you're going to be
go and say it again.
Purple burglar alarm.
No, the
Should we
other
just get
one.
out of our system? So now it's your turn, Moscow, and then I'll go.
No, the burglarly one. Say that one again.
Burglary.
How do you say it so easily? How?
Burglary.
Burglary.
Do you know, I struggle to say communion.
Communion.
And reunion.
Reunion. We all say it the same.
Communion.
Reunion.
Anyway, how have you been?
Not bad. Busy.
How have you been in general?
In general.
In general, how have you been?
I've been burgled by a purple burglar.
And your genitals, how have you been?
God.
What a start, I'm sorry.
I'm not, it was very funny. I'll let Shaun answer first.
Yeah, no bad. Just been quite busy this week. Done a few videos. I was up at the Highlands on the weekend shooting some vlogs. So that's quite exciting, I guess.
You've been in Mull, haven't you?
I was in Mull. It's one of my favourite places.
I've never been to Mull.
Oh, you need to go. I love it there.
I do.
It's a really, really nice place. I'll talk about it at the end because that's my favourite thing of the week type of thing.
Spoiler.
But I would recommend anyone going there. And it's just, you know what, I've just been off of editing recently, and now I've got a bank of about 4 or 5 vlogs that I need to edit and post.
Oh, nice. That's a great feeling.
It is a good feeling to be ahead of game.
Can't relate.
I've got them filmed. I just hadn't had the motivation to edit. So that was what bothered me. But I just need to get the finger out and get them done. Good
on you. What about you, Moscow? What have you been up to?
Work, pretty much. I know nothing much exciting here, just working. It feels like every day this week after work I've had something or another going on, so it's been good. It's just been very busy.
Do you just feel like there's something strange going on this week? I don't know how to explain that, but I just feel like everyone's weird and everyone's having kind of either a crappy week or it just feels like there's something going on and I can't put my finger on it. Quite a few people message me on Instagram.
Jupiter is out of alignment with Saturn, that's what's going on.
That's
could be that.
I totally just made that up.
No, it is. It's like some sort of Mercury retrograde or something going on. It's got to be.
I feel like as well, January, February, March are always just shite months, aren't they? They're the worst months of the year.
Well, this is April, Sean.
But what I mean is we've been through that, right? And then everybody's been waiting for the next holiday, which is Easter, which is coming up. True. And it's we're just almost there for a few days away. And I guess everybody's just waiting for a bit of a holiday. But yeah, it's been a bit weird I know what you mean. There's a weird atmosphere.
It's really weird. But saying
I think as well it's probably got to do with the fact the weather took a bad turn again, because we had that really nice time in March where it was 2 weeks of sunshine. And then it's gone fucking miserable and hailstony and cold again.
Did you just have multiple bouts of hailstones today as well?
Yes.
But they're really big.
Yeah.
I didn't even
what's
peek
going
outside
on?
the window, to be honest, so I don't know. I
3
didn't see it,
times?
but I can look now.
Some
It's
days
actually
look at the universe.
sunny. Oh, it's sunny as hell, right? It's so sunny, and yet we keep having these hailstone showers. And it's
Wow.
not even that cloudy. I don't know what's going on.
Well,
And they're like
there's blue
massive.
skies here.
Yeah, same. But they're like Maltesers. I don't know what's going on, man. Something weird.
Maltesers.
Yeah,
they
well,
brown?
like remember those like, like those wee Cadbury's tasters? Do you remember them?
Oh, aye.
Oh, I miss them.
Are
so
you
much.
talking about Revels? No, am I thinking
No,
of something
no.
else now?
They were called tasters, and they came in a little purple packet. Oh my god, they were amazing. They stopped doing them. But anyway, that's not the point of this podcast.
But you asked that, how are you getting on? How's your week
Yeah, how's your...
Yeah, all right. And we won't go into it, but yeah, no, it's just been busy with work. But everyone's just been. It's been. I don't know how. Like, I'm a carer. Everybody's been quite difficult this week, and I think everyone's. I was like, is there a full moon? Is something going on here? I don't know. Yeah, honestly, something's.
Could be.
One of my ladies yesterday called me a fat mince.
What? A fat mince?
Yeah, she got really angry and she was like, "You fat mince," and I was like, "No." But I could stop laughing.
Brilliant.
Wow.
That's quite a good. That's quite a
That's
good
a
insult, to
great
be fair.
insult.
Fat mince.
I might borrow that.
And everyone's like, "What kind of insult's that?" And I'm like, "She has advanced dementia. Give her a break." But also, it's a very good. It made me laugh.
I mean, that's pretty funny. I mean, it's not obviously not nice, but I mean, in that situation, like, what can you do?
Exactly. But yeah, it's just been one of those weeks. So I'm quite glad that we have the podcast now. I quite enjoy it. It's good to just like last one was like a therapy session.
It was,
is
it was really
amazing.
deep.
I
It was
felt
like-
so chilled after it.
Yeah, and actually we
Although-
got some really nice comments from people as well afterwards, where people said they had the same symptoms and feelings.
I need to go through those YouTube comments.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I've not really
But
been
we were
on
all
it.
talking as well. Obviously, I think we're all pretty burned out for various different reasons, and we might end up taking a wee break now for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we're coming to the end of our season 1, really, right?
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, because we've all now, like after this one, we'll all have done 2 episodes each, or hosted
Yeah.
2 episodes each. So after this, we're going to take a wee break for a couple of weeks, or a few weeks, and come back in May
Come back in May.
for
And it'll
season
be,
2.
every time it'll be like an incremental change. So I propose the next change that we do, right,
Oh,
to up the game a wee bit, is that on the thumbnails on YouTube, right,
Uh-huh.
we use our faces as pictures like you would do in a YouTube video.
Ooh,
Alright.
okay. A challenge.
That would step it up a wee bit.
That would step
I mean,
it up.
I think that would help. I think people who might not know that we're doing this podcast, if they saw our faces, they'll be like, "Oh yes, clicking on that."
Yeah,
or not.
yeah.
In my case, just kidding. Like, oh no.
We can maybe go with the same image for YouTube as we do for the Instagram when we post.
Yeah.
We can maybe do some
That
sort
works.
of like incorporate the 3 of us into it somehow, like all doing like
Aye.
shocked faces.
We'll do some kind of
Clickbait.
Photoshop because we're not actually together.
Exactly. I use PicMonkey for all my terrible photoshopping, and it seems to work. I could just and learn how to use Photoshop, but no. Anyway. Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to get
Anyway.
comfy here. You should see the state of me when I'm filming this. Or recording this. I sit on the floor, but I'm an old woman, so I can't ever get comfy. So, friendships.
Friendships.
I was going to start with a deep question, but now that I'm about to ask it, I'm like, I don't even know what I would answer it as. Like, I don't know what my answer would be. I was going to be like, so what does friendship mean to you? And then I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
It's so different for every person, though, right?
Exactly. Like, what? Right. Let's
'Cause-
start with an easier one then. So what do you look for in a friend? Like, when you think of friendship, what does that mean? Like, what do you require in a friend, or what do you seek out in a friend?
Can I just say
form of
this is going to be another therapy session?
It
Oh, I
will
don't
be,
care.
actually. I'm interested in your answers, guys, actually, because I always feel like
Same.
what I look for in a friendship is totally different to normal people. So this will be interesting.
What is normal?
I did that in air quotation marks, but you can't see me.
So who's gonna go first?
So I would say that I'm pretty. I'm not sure what the word is, but I'm pretty an easygoing type of person in this sense. So, like, I will consider someone a friend very easily and very quickly.
Yes.
Like, they might just say hi, and I'm like, oh, there's a wee pal.
BFF.
Aww.
But I generally I'm quite so, and people are different in lots of ways. So I know, like, my other half, for example, she has deep friendships with people that she's known for years.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I could go to a bar and literally meet someone and have a wee chat and think, oh, that's a nice friend. Like,
Aww.
I'm very easygoing, and I can meet people quite quickly and meet new friends, if you know what I mean. But I know there's a difference between deep friendships and then friends that you might just come across and chat, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But I don't know, it's weird because I think nowadays, like, I do have some friends that I've known for years and I keep in touch with, like you guys, for example, and then some other friends that I've kind of met over the years. One example would be a guy that I met on my US embassy tour, which is called John Loudon. He's from Scotland, and he's from Edinburgh, and we get on really well, and I've just been friends with him ever since. So, like, that's been 4 or 5 years now. I've been really good friends with him. You know, I've got a couple of friends that I used to go fishing with when I was a teenager that I keep in touch with, but on the whole, I'm pretty bad at this, right? Because there's so many people that I've been friends with over the years that I've kind of lost touch with, and it's totally through my own fault, just because of laziness, I guess.
Well, that's what happens when you're an adult as well. It's hard to, and we're going to cover that as well. It's hard to keep, it's hard to maintain friendships at times, especially when maybe one person's not as responsive as the other, or you get those friendships where you don't see or speak to each other for a long time, but then you just hang out and it's like nothing's changed.
Definitely. But I kind of think I'm a bad friend, though.
Oh.
I'm gonna say that. Like, for people that have known me for years, like, they might think I'm not dependable. The thing is, though, like, if anybody who I know, like, anybody who's been, like, a friend of mine over the last 10 years called me and said, listen, I need help, can you help me out with something? I would drop what I'm doing and do it.
Yeah, exactly.
But on the other hand, they might send me a WhatsApp message and say, how you doing? And I'll ignore them. And I won't get back to them.
But again, that falls under there's different, I keep going to say requirements, but that's not the right word. But there's different ways to maintain friendships. Some people won't see WhatsApp communication as important at all. Some people just aren't texters.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's the same like in like romantic relationships as well. Like, some people just aren't texty people. So in that way, if you're a texty person, sexy is such a weird word. It sounds like I'm failing to say sexy.
Texty everything about
it is a really weird one, though, because, like,
Liberty text.
I feel like I could. Yeah, I would text. Yeah, text, sex, texting. I don't know what we're talking about anymore. No, for friends though, like, I'm somebody who, as long as somebody that I know that I speak to, if I feel like if I see them again and had a chat, like, that's somebody I would, consider a friend. Or, and I tend to, if I'm ever doing anything that's exciting, like going to a party or going to, I don't know, going for a hill walk or something, I'll invite people that I think might be interested. So I think that's kind of like people that I would consider friends.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Moscow?
Me, the main quality that I look for in friends, the ones that I keep around me, are give me honesty. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I like people who are loyal. I like people who, if somebody's honest, they will be those things, and if they can't be those things, they'll at least be fucking honest about it. Yeah. So for me, honesty, like, because I'm a very...
Oh, sorry.
Shocking, Shaun just interrupted me with noise.
Is that a friend showing up at your house?
That was a friend at my house. No, that was the delivery man.
Oh, so a friend?
Yeah. I'll say, hello, thanks for the parcel. You're my best mate. Let's go to the pub together.
I dare you.
It'd be fun.
I'll give you a pound.
Gia quid. For me, it's definitely honesty. I value that most in my people around me, and it's just because I can be quite a strong personality sometimes to deal with, and I need people around me that I can trust to be like, stop it, like put it away, stop it, stand down, like whatever it is, whatever the fuck it is, like my bank card or whatever I'm about to do. I just need somebody to go no.
Oh, your bank card, right? Okay. I just heard Shaun in the background there going, put what away?
Put what away?
It could be any number of things, right? Probably what you're thinking.
True. Put it away.
It's like you'll show up to somebody's house with a passport and they'll be like, no, like, let's calm down.
You don't need that to get in here.
I just, but equally when I reach out to friends and I'm like, let's do a podcast, I need people to go, no. Let's not.
And then you find us.
Yeah, and you guys are like, fucking let's go. I'm like, oh great, I shouldn't have asked. No, I'm joking. But,
then 6 months later we record our first episode.
Yeah, exactly. So no, I need people around me that I can trust to be honest with me and tell me tell me no when I need to hear it.
But I would argue as well that, or not argue, but agree, I guess, and that you can't really have like a proper strong friendship with someone if you don't have honesty. Because there's always going to be things in friendships and other relationships where you might not necessarily agree with something they've said or something that they're doing, or if someone even just annoys you, you need to be able to let them know.
Yeah.
There is nothing I hate more than the type of people who fanny around something. Like they text you and they're like, oh, guess what happened? And then they don't tell you, and then you text them, you're like, what? And then you're waiting to chase them. Like, just give me it direct, be upfront, be straight with me. I've not got time to fanny around and chase after you. I fucking hate it. That is like the most. And then people that won't tell you when they've upset you. Or sorry, when you've upset them, they won't tell you. You're like, is everything okay? They're like, yeah, but they're like bitching about you behind your back. I don't have time for that. Just tell it to my face. Tell me straight. You know what I mean? And that's what I really value in a friendship. Like, I've got friends that will come to me and go, remember when you said that? Yeah, that was a bit of a bitchy thing to say. Oh shit, sorry. You know, that's it.
Yeah, and that's what I really like about my friends as well. They're all very upfront, which I need, and vice versa. Like one of my best friends, Steph, she's like the perfect travel buddy because we can just read each other like a book. We don't a lot of the time even need to say anything. But if one of us is annoying the other, we'll just be like, shut up, like please stop. Or we'll just outright say what we're feeling, and then we'll give each other space as well. We'll just say to the other person, look, I need a bit of time to myself, and the other person's not going to get offended.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's perfect. Whereas I think with some of my other friends, if I said that, I think they'd get offended. Like, I need a bit of space, can you like leave me alone? But I don't know, it's interesting. That's something that I want to talk about as well, is how I'm saying, like, what do you look for in a friendship, but you're going to get different things from each friendship in your life.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get one thing, or you're not going to get from one person all the things that you're looking for, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's true.
So I have like a bunch of different friendships, and I go to each person for different things. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, like, for sure, definitely.
Like, if I'm going through stuff, I need to talk about it, and all my friends are really good for that. So, but there are certain friends that I'll go to first, or certain friends that I'll talk about certain things about too.
Yeah,
am I speaking English right now?
Yeah.
No, I totally understand. It's like certain people give off different energies, and you know what they'll react to.
Yeah. Like the stuff that I'm going through just now, which I won't say publicly, I'm going through some personal stuff. My two closest friends are really good for that. They have very different ways about, or like, I don't know, ways of saying things. One of them is very, very honest and very, very just blunt. The one I was talking about that I can go on holiday with.
Sounds like that kind of person.
Oh my god, she's so like very, very, very blunt, to the point where some people are like, whoa, don't be harsh, and I'm like, no, I appreciate it, I need it, I don't care.
Yeah.
She can be as harsh as she wants. She knows that I know she's not doing it to be a cow. She's just looking out for me.
Yeah.
I totally understand, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. But
for me, like, just hearing what you guys are saying as well, like Tammy especially, I think you wouldn't, and we've been friends for years, but I don't think you maybe like my style so much, because I think we're quite similar. Like, I'm a very positive person, lots of energy, and like to do things quite spontaneously. But at the same time, I'm quite bad at telling people no. Like, and it's not because I don't want to be honest with people. It's more like I'm, like I said, I'm quite positive, high energy, and I don't like to be a mood killer. Like, and I try and see the positive in every situation. Like, if you came to me with a bad thing, I'll be like, no, it's okay. You can do it like this, or something. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I'm sort of learning how to say no these days. I
really struggle with it.
Better at it now. Like, for example, I'm supposed to be going for breakfast on Sunday it's a daughter of someone that I used to support, and I haven't seen her in a wee while. And we arranged to go for breakfast on Sunday, but I just don't want to do anything this weekend. It's just and I don't like cancelling. I never cancel, but I was like, no, I need to sort my stuff out. So
Yeah.
I messaged her and I just said, look, I'm going through some personal stuff. I didn't tell her what, but I was like, can we just reschedule? I felt terrible about it, but I knew she'd be alright with it. But
Yeah.
I was like, no,
Most
I need to
people
say
are.
no. And normally before I would have just went, just because I didn't want to disappoint her. But she's not going to mind. Like, it's fine. People aren't going to be offended. And sometimes I will see my closest friends. Sometimes I will just... I mean, it's rare that I don't want to do something with them, but I can easily just be like, I actually just want to sit in tonight.
Yeah.
Myself.
That definitely, I know what you mean.
And they won't be offended, so... I think
It
Yeah.
also depends on what you, like what Erin was saying as well about, like, you have different friends for different things. Like, Shaun, I know that you're quite a positive person, so I would come to you when I want to talk about things like anxiety and stuff, and that things where you need that positive spin. But I'm not going to come to you and go, you know, does my ass look fat in this? Because I know you're going to say no. You know what I mean? Like, that's you're never going to tell me, oh God, you look fucking awful in that. Get it? I mean, you know, like that's not. You're not the type of friend I would go to for that. You know what I mean? Like, you've got different friends for different things, and so that's Like my friend from work came to me and she was like, "Do you like my?" Because nobody else told her the truth, and she was like, "Do you like my haircut?" I was like, "Sarah, you look like when Arya Stark tried to be a boy." Like, that's like the level of honesty that I have and I expect.
You can't pretend though. Like, I'm not good at lying.
Yeah,
like people would just know.
People know if they want a real answer, they ask me outright, and I'll sometimes give them the buffer. I'll be like, "Do you really want to know, or do you want like me to pretend to say something nice?"
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, "Yeah," and then
I'll
know,
say,
like...
"Do you really want to know?" They'll be like, "Oh no."
Yeah,
I know the answer.
Yeah.
I guess it kind of suits my personality in the fact that I work in marketing and PR, right? Because I don't... Sometimes when somebody asks me something, I don't see it as like a lie. I see it more as like trying to put a positive spin on something.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
To try and lift the mood rather than to try and... I dislike displeasing someone or making someone feel bad. So like I would really struggle with that. That's why I struggle with saying no, I guess. I'm a people pleaser. I'm a
chronic people pleaser as well. Like, it's really bad. But
see, I don't give a shit about people. So like,
nah, I don't believe that. Of course you do.
I have no fucks left to give in the jar. Like, no, I mean it obviously depends on the person and stuff. But like, if somebody comes and they ask me outright for their like give me this honestly, Mosco, and I tell them exactly what I think, and they're like, oh well, fuck you. I'm like, well, fuck you too.
Yeah.
You know, if you want me to be honest, if you want honest opinions, you come to me. You don't faff around. I don't faff.
See, I wish I was more like that.
Yeah.
It is very good, by the way. It's so good to be able to just cut something and end it very quickly, like before it becomes a whole big ordeal. Yeah. And I value him. I think he's brilliant.
Like, his character in Afterlife just stops caring because he's like, what's the point? I mean, it is depressing, but also, But do you know, someone, who was it? Oh yeah, it was my ex-partner, and I went away with his family, and they all they all pulled me up for being a chronic people pleaser, and I was like, no, you're right. No, you're actually right, because I remember in the morning, his mum was like, Erin, do you want a bacon sandwich? And I was like, and I really wanted a bacon sandwich, but I was like, I mean, no, I'm alright. I mean, are you making bacon sandwiches? And she's like, Erin, do you want a bacon sandwich? And I was like, if everyone else is having one, I'll have one, yeah. But like, she's like, I'm making you a sandwich.
I got pulled up with something similar as well, and it's not a nice feeling when it happens.
Yeah, I didn't want her to go out her way to make me a sandwich if she wasn't going to make one anyway.
Yeah. But it's almost like a deconstruction of your personality when somebody does it to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then everyone was like, Erin, you need to start just saying what you want, like, just tell us. And they all kept filling me up for it, and I was like, oh.
The same thing happened to me when I was in Brazil, right?
Uh-huh.
One of my wife's friends, she's an amazing chef. She makes food for all of her friends whenever we go there.
Nice.
And she said to me once, like, you say everything's good, you say everything's amazing, so I'm not going to believe you anymore.
Oh.
Because like I can't believe that everything is that good, but I genuinely felt it though. It wasn't like I'm not lying.
Yeah, because I feel like if you really didn't like it, you maybe just wouldn't say anything, or
exactly.
you would maybe just not hype
and
it
if
up
I didn't,
much.
But that's the thing. Like if I didn't, I would struggle to say it. I would struggle to articulate it in a way that would make me feel comfortable doing it. Yeah. But I genuinely, in most cases, see the positive and stuff.
Plus, if she's a good cook, you're not gonna. I mean, surely that's a good thing if you're always saying her stuff's good.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a confrontation or anything like that. It was just like we we don't know if we can believe you anymore because you say everything's good.
That's a shame.
And it's quite...
Next time you go, just like take a wee audio clip of me saying it's fucking shite and then just play that back to her if you actually want to say it that way.
Yeah, no, but I genuinely don't feel like that though. Like, and it's in most cases, like, if I genuinely hate something, I don't know how I'd articulate it, but I probably wouldn't go for the direct approach.
Yeah. I don't know.
So I know then if I ask you a question and you're like, well, I'll be like, cool, you don't like it, good, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'll either be really positive or I'll be looking for a way out.
Yeah.
It makes me sorry,
go for Erin. No, go.
No. See.
You're being a people pleaser, Erin. Fucking go.
Yeah. She's like, no, on you go, and I'm like, fucking get on with it.
Yeah, I get really uncomfortable when people aren't content, and so like it's the same when do you ever like when you recommend a film to someone and then you're sitting watching it with them and you know that they don't like it and you're like, and I can't relax because I'm like, oh, they don't like it, I've ruined their night.
Yeah,
oh no,
exactly.
I can't deal with this.
But
or
see,
like you go and do something, go to a bar or something that they're obviously not enjoying, and I'm like, I just can't deal with that.
But see, this is where people like used to and me make great friends, because I wouldn't sit on that couch and watch that movie. I would turn around and tell you, this is shite, can we watch something else? You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't leave you sitting that whole movie thinking, oh crap, she's not liking it, oh no, constantly looking over your shoulder at me. I wouldn't do that to you. I'd be like, hey Erin, this is kind of a bit crap, can we put something else on? You know, like I'd be like, I can understand why you like it, but I'm not enjoying this, so let's do something else. You know what I mean?
And it makes total sense. Like you would like it.
But I think you're right, no, Tammy, that makes sense. You know, we do make good friends because we are very different. And what is it the French say? Vive la différence or something like that?
Yes. And also we're the whole thing of like Slytherins and Hufflepuffs get on really well together, because I feel like you two are probably Hufflepuffs and I'm very much a Slytherin. Yeah.
And it's also, I think it's the same with couples as well, right? I mean, everybody thinks the dream is to be like have exactly the same partner as you, but it's really not. You want opposite. Even if it ends up you end up fighting about stuff and disagreeing quite a lot, this is actually the best way.
Are you and your wife opposites?
Yes, very much, totally.
Really?
Who else is going to tell Shaun that he ordered something else when the dish comes out? Like, the dish comes out and it's like, oh, I didn't order that. It has to be somebody in the relationship has to speak up, because it's not going to be Shaun. So
I really like your wife.
One example is, for example, I'm very impulsive, and I'll make decisions for stuff that I want to happen later that day or tomorrow.
Wow,
like even if it's something really massive, like, oh, let's get a plane and go somewhere.
Oh my god,
I've done that before, and my wife is opposite. She'll be like, no, I need to plan this 6 months ahead.
Yes, I agree with you.
And I hate that. I can't plan that far ahead. I like to plan tomorrow.
Oh no.
Spontaneous.
So there's something me and you are very different as well, Erin. So like we're same on. It's so interesting because we're same on some ways, but then different on others.
Yeah.
Do you know? I used to think I was so spontaneous. I'm getting stressed out even like you're just talking about this.
See, I'm the opposite. I like spontaneity, but I get stressed out with organising things that are in the future.
No, I get that as well. Yeah, no, I understand how organising something would see when I go on holiday. I get stressed if I have like a bunch, like a schedule. If I have a schedule, I do get stressed. But if I have a loose schedule, or like, see if I just know that how I'm going to get there and where I'm going to stay, then I'm fine. And I like not having a plan in that way. But if I have like a strict schedule, I'm not into that. Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but definitely I'm very kind of impulsive and spontaneous. And I guess the impulsive is the bad side of it, and spontaneous is good in some ways.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, what's the difference? Yeah, I get that. That's funny, isn't it?
I guess impulsive could lead you to make rash decisions.
Yes, like getting a puppy. My friend Mark did that once he broke up with his boyfriend. I was like, can I just leave you alone for 5 fucking minutes, Mark? Just 5 minutes. Or he'll go and get a car, or he'll get a dog, or he'll make
come back with a tattoo in his ass or something.
20th time. I'm like, seriously?
But he'd maybe argue that that's spontaneity.
No, I'll fucking tell him he's been a cunt.
What's the difference?
So I think
it's probably both.
I think the difference is
we've set Tammy off.
If you're spontaneous, you can go and have fun quite quickly and change your plans and your lifestyle like at the turn of a hat, and it can be a good thing. I think impulsive can mean that sometimes you react on emotions.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
Not for the benefit of you. It's just what you feel's right in the moment, and it might not necessarily be the best. Yeah.
Which sometimes can be a good thing as well, but can also lead to bad things happening or bad
That's
decisions.
impulsive people tend to be like impulsive buyers and stuff, right? So you tend to end up in more debt, and you don't really think things through that way, and
Yeah.
So also
I'm between you
mental
two,
health issues.
actually.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm between you two when it comes to the impulsive and spontaneity thing. Like, sometimes I like if I've got a whole day off, waking up and just going, do you know what, I'm going to go through Edinburgh today, fuck it. But, like, see if somebody was like, we're going to, get a plane later, I would be like, no. It's like a
I'm
bit
the same
So-
as you, yeah, I think.
So if you linked that back to friendship, right? Imagine I came knocking on your door tomorrow and said, by the way, Tammy, we're going up to Highlands to do this video. Like, how would you feel if somebody did that to you?
I think it would
Like-
depend, because like if I've got the time free, I would be up for that. But if I was like, well, actually, I've got like a hen do coming up, I've got like this thing for work, I've got like a podcast to record, then it would be harder.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If
So
I
for me,
even
it's more
have-
to do with scheduling.
Yeah, no, I get that. See, even if I have like an appointment at like 4 o'clock during the day, say tomorrow when I'm off, not on tomorrow. Say I had an appointment at 4 o'clock, I'd be like, I can't do anything today because I've got an appointment at 4 o'clock. Can't possibly do
Yeah.
anything. No time.
All right, no. My days are packed. Like, I'm looking at my schedule for tomorrow, and like even I've got like 5 things sitting on my phone for tomorrow. I'm like, I've got breakfast in the morning with the girls, then I need to watch 3 episodes of Bleach before a podcast recording later on. Then I've got the Grand National with a couple of friends we're watching online. Then I've got the Serite podcast recording at 4 p.m. and that'll
No.
take me to about, you know what I mean? Like, this is how I plan my days. They're all scheduled out hour by hour.
No, that would
pretty
stress
much.
me out. I'm stressed just listening to
But I
that.
think-
No, I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. By
I think
Tammy's
there's definitely
schedule.
there's definitely some beauty in that that as an organizational skill. I feel like somebody like me could practice that and like come to a bit of a better balance.
I have to, or I forget everything. Like, I forget,
Aye.
if it's not in my phone, it gets forgotten. And this is like where I start double booking people, or forgetting that I have an event on, and then going, fuck, I've booked something else. And yeah, I need it to be in my phone.
Literally the only thing I've got on my phone as a diary entry is doctor appointments, because I know if I miss them, I'll be fucked.
I don't use my phone for calendar related stuff. I have an
How
actual
do you
wall.
use Live?
I have a wall calendar and I have a
Okay.
diary that I physically.
Ah, so you have
write in.
something though.
Yeah.
You have a paper
no, I
version
couldn't
of it.
not. Yeah, I have to have something, but I can't do it electronically. I have to write it. Like our friend Gav used to pull me up for that. He'd be like, "Why do you write everything? You're not a cave woman."
Do you take your diary with you though? See, this is why I've got it on
Yeah.
my phone, because when right, that's fine. Because I was going to say when a
I
friend
carry a
is like,
backpack everywhere.
Alright, okay, cool. Because if I'm in a car with a friend and they're like, hey, let's do this thing on this day, I need to be able to put it straight in my phone, otherwise,
Yeah.
even if it's just 15 minutes later, I could be saying it over and over again in my head, like, don't forget to do this,
I get that.
don't forget to do this, don't forget, and then I get home and I'm like, oh, look, shiny new other thing that I need to do.
No, I am a backpack wanker, and I can fit my diary in there. So,
That makes sense. No, but yeah, at least you've got somewhere to record the stuff, whether it's paper
Yes.
or on a phone.
Yeah.
I
Or
mean,
your
when I
hand.
say I record literally nothing other than doctor's appointments, that
no,
I
I
mean,
couldn't.
I don't know what else is going on.
Like
And somebody will be like,
podcasts.
"Oh, by the way, tomorrow, we're supposed to have lunch," and I'm like, "Oh, are we? Good. Thanks for reminding me, because I would have fucking forgot."
oh my god, no. So, speaking of friendships, what does your current friendship situation look like? Like, do you have groups of friends? Do you have like what's the deal? Like, for example, for me, I've got like my two. Well, I've got a bunch of close friends, like really close friends. I can't speak. And but yeah, like I said, I go to them for all different things, but I've known them for years, like years and years and years and years and years. And then I have my ex-partner's cousin that I got really close with during the pandemic, and she's a really close friend now. And then I have that whole like group of message board friends that I told you about that I made friends with on AOL back in the day. And like a couple of them have kids now, and I've been to their weddings and all this stuff, and it's just mental. But yeah, I was
Yeah.
wondering like what your friendship situation looks like. I don't know if that's a very vague question.
No, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it, Sean.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to hear about yours, because you must have a lot.
Tell us
Yeah, I
about your
mean-
pals.
I mean, this is the thing,
All
because
over the
I
world.
make friends quite easily.
Mhm.
Like, I consider I've got like a lot of friends from all around the world, like people that I've met. Like, I might have met them literally on one occasion, but I'll still keep in touch with them on messaging and stuff now and again, and leave them a comment. But I consider them a friend. So like, I've got like a lot of people like that around the world, and then I've got my extended friends through my wife's friends. She's got like really deep friendships with people she's known since she was a teenager, and
Yeah.
like I consider them friends as well. I've spent a lot of time with them. And then I've got deeper friendships with people like yourselves, people I've known for like 4 or 5 years, who I keep in touch with regularly. And then I've got people, a smaller group, I would say, of people who, some of them I'm just getting to know. I've only met them, over the last few months, or some of them that I've known for 5, 10 years, or maybe 15 years that I'll keep in touch with regularly as well. But I kind of treat everyone the same way. Like, I'm pretty open. I'm a pretty open book. Like, I don't guard things. Like, I tell people my life story from day one. Like, even if I've just met them in the pub first time, I hide nothing. So, like,
that's good.
It's not. It's difficult for me to say that, like, the friends that I've known the longest know more about me, and they probably do, just by the nature of the fact that we've had more meetings. But I'll tell somebody that I've just met the same things, basically.
So you like a bit of an oversharer as well?
Yeah.
I'm a bit of an oversharer, and I don't really know a lot of times where the boundary is. Like, I'm always like, should I have told them that?
I feel like, especially when you're meeting new people, and whether this is like in a kind of casual friend situation or even in interviews, people always judge you, I think, and you're always going to be judged for different things. What school you went to, what your social class is, and all that shite. But I feel like I've always felt like, because I've not come from the same background as a lot of people, that I would just say, like, the more I open up, it kind of disarms people. And this is actually so I used to be a journalist, right? I don't know if you guys know this, but I used to be a journalist, and I used to disarm people so quickly by telling them my life story up front and have nothing to hide, and then they would end up giving me all the information that I needed, like, really quickly, and trusting me.
Because it's sort of like, if you're being vulnerable, then
that's
they're
clever.
like, oh, I guess I could be vulnerable as well, and like this guy
exactly
feels that he can trust me, so
and that is not me trying to do something in a manipulative way, because I genuinely want people to open up to me in a friendly way, right? So all these people that I know, whether I've known them for 10 seconds or 10 years, I'm quite good at adapting to people's personalities as well, like a bit of a chameleon. So, like, I'll adapt to the situation as I meet someone and understand their personality, and I can quickly react to how they respond to me. So I will disarm them by giving them all my information, like, quite quickly. And then usually in a professional setting, when I was a journalist, they used to really tell me all their deepest secrets, which was great. But it usually means people in a kind of friendly situation opening up to me quite quickly as well. So I don't know what I've got lots. Basically, that's a long way of saying I've got lots of friends, lots of different friends, and my wife would disagree with me because she doesn't believe a friendship is a friend until someone is like, you can stay over their house, and exactly. That's what she sees a friend as, whereas I see, like, lots and lots of different types of people could be a friend, even if you just. And I actually like going to a place where I don't know anyone and then just meeting people and then maybe never seeing them again, but at the same time you have quite a deep connection with them in a moment.
No, I get that. Like, in that way, I don't know how I would distinguish a lot of times between acquaintances and friends. Like, I do have a lot of acquaintances, but I do have these, like, deep, close relationships with people that I would consider, like, my really close friends. But interested in
to me, you've got
Tammy?
I was going to say, to me, you've got, like, acquaintances, friends, close friends, and best friends. Like, that's how I sort of, in my head, have categorised some of it whilst we've been talking.
BFFFF, and then BFF, and then BF.
See, I really struggle to make that. I struggle to make that comparison. The only category I put people in is people I can trust and people I can't trust.
Delivery man and friends.
No, but even still, like, I can know if somebody's, like, someone I can trust. Even the ones I don't trust, I'll open up to them. Like, it's kind of disarms people. But, like, I know if somebody's not to be trusted because they might stab you in the back, type of thing.
I don't. But, like, I trust everyone in that way. Like, I'm terrible for that. I'm not very good at reading people. I just think everyone's nice, which is very nice. I'm just gonna
take a note here of easy to manipulate Erin.
Oh my god!
Stop.
Manipulate me. Oh, sorry, I'm doing that thing again. But there's a cloud that looks like a skull.
Oh wow, that's epic.
Perfect timing.
But even if it's someone, I recognise I probably shouldn't trust them, I'll open up to them and be very friendly to them. And again, that can sometimes, like I said, disarm them. And it makes it somebody that you can't trust, but it'll I don't know. It's weird.
What about you, Tammy? What is your friendship situation look like?
So, I will admit a lot of my friends are sort of segregated into, like, groups away from each other. It's very rare that my friends cross paths unless it's like I'm having a birthday party or a dinner or, like, I'm doing, like, a housewarming. That's when they start to cross paths with each other. But like I've got my friends, like a bunch of my work colleagues that have sort of become friends, but I would say out of all of them only one or two are close. And then I've got like Mark, who's my best friend, and then I've got like childhood friends like Siobhan. I'm going to be a bridesmaid for her this year. That's a wedding that I've got coming up in June. But a lot of these friends, they know of each other, and sometimes they will meet each other, but it's very rare that they sort of cross over. But I would say in terms of friends, like if I was to mention close friends, I would say are the people that I can see and speak to a lot, like almost daily or at least a few times a week. Those would be close friends, and then or people that I grew up with. And then I've got just regular friends who are people that I chat with more intermittently, I guess, would be that.
I talk to my really close friends every single day. Like it's just, I need that sort of, I'm like a sim, like my sim bar goes down when I don't have contact with you. Like
I like that though. I think
like my, would you call it like, I mean like sort of the friendship level, like it goes down. Like if I've not seen you or spoke to you in a while, the bar goes down, and then as soon as I talk to you again, I'm like, oh, topped up. But you know how you talked about mixing friends there? Yeah. How do you feel about mixing friend groups? Because that freaks me out. That was actually on the list of things I wanted to talk about, because I just had my birthday not that long ago, and I'm mixed friends, and that, like, my birthday is usually the one time a year where I will mix friends, and most of my friends have met each other, and like even the message board people have met, and they all live in different countries, but they have met, like some of my closest friends, and everybody gets on well. But on my birthday, like it was 4 different people that like weren't friends, and it was just so weird, because I was like, I couldn't focus, because I was like, I hope they're all getting along, like I hope. And it was just, I don't know.
Yeah,
really
that
weird.
it could be stressful from that point. But before we get into that, answering that question, Erin, did you here's my stupid fucking fact for this episode, right?
Ooh.
Did you know that the crystal, you were talking about Sims, the crystal above their head that changes colour depending on their mood, do you know that that's got a name, that crystal? It's called the plum bob.
Oh, I did not know that.
The green crystal above their head that changes into orange or then red when it's bad. The plum bob.
Plum?
Anyway, sorry, that's my little stupid fact.
Plum?
Mixing friend groups. Plum, like a plum. Plum bob.
Plum bob. That's a good fact.
There you go.
Do you know how we talked about being gullible at one point? Like, I bet you this is a complete lie, and you're just manipulating us, right?
Honesty, Erin. Honesty.
True.
Erin.
True.
You can Google it. Sim crystal. Like, look up the sim crystal name. You can see it.
Plum bob. I believe you.
But yes,
so,
anyway.
I've not played that for years, so I can't remember, to be honest.
I used to play that all. Oh, I was obsessed with it. Absolutely obsessed with it. But yeah, so one of the other big questions I was going to ask was, have you ever had any friendships break down? Like, yeah, as a child, right? That we'll put that out the way, because that happens all the time when you're away, right? But as an adult, like, have you had friendships break down as an adult?
I've had one that stands out quite.
And obviously, you don't need to go into it.
No, it's fine. This will not come as a surprise to anybody that's listened this far for me. But I have this one friend. Let's call her Sarah. And Sarah has this. Sarah is a very not to the point person, and she'll fanny around, and she'll. Like, I do love her, and we still sometimes talk on occasion, but we're just not compatible friendship-wise, and we both know that. We're like, here's an example, she'll text him, ask my opinion on something. It could be something small, like, oh, do I want to restart this game? Or it could be something bigger, like, I don't know who to vote for in the next election. And then I will spend, like, an hour of my time trying to talk her around to why I think she should or shouldn't do a particular thing, because she's asked for my opinion. And then she will always do the opposite of what I've talked to her about, you know what I mean? Like, and then she'll either regret the decision, or you know what I mean? And I'm like, what did I spend that whole time talking you through that for? And so it got to a point where
you the answer.
Yeah, and it got to a point where I just stopped replying. But what she'll do then is she'll hound me. Like, I remember that we were in a group chat, and what was it she said? She was like, oh, I don't know if I should restart Animal Crossing. And I refused to answer her because I'd already done it with Pokemon. We'd already been through this battle with Pokemon. So I ignored her. And then she would be like, then she would text about other things, and then she'd be like, yeah, so I've still not made a decision about the Animal Crossing thing yet. Try to get me to take the bait. And I would just ignore the question, ignore it. And then she'd start bringing it up in other group chats in front of people, like, oh, what should I do? Should I restart? And I'm like,
Shut
mean, eventually, yeah, that's effectively. Eventually, I just exploded on her, where I was like, Sarah, I don't fucking care. Like, it doesn't matter what I tell you. You're gonna go and do the opposite anyway. So why the fuck are you asking my opinion? And that did not go down well. So, yeah, that was a friendship that broke down. And I was just like, we are too incompatible when it comes to stuff like that. I was like, don't come to me for advice. Don't ask for my opinion unless you're gonna take it. I'm not wasting my time on you when it comes to that. And she was like,
so
whoa,
I guess,
okay.
So she would be like an acquaintance then, maybe?
Well, she used to be a friend. I would still say
Yeah.
that she's kind of like a friend, but I wouldn't say she was a close friend anymore or a best friend or anything. No.
Yeah, like an F. She's not a BF anymore.
Yeah, she's yeah.
Just an F.
Yeah, just
She's
an
been
F.
relegated.
She's at F.
She went from S tier to like C or D tier.
That sim bar is all the way down.
But just like that, but that doesn't make her a bad person. This is like, it
No.
doesn't make her a bad person or me a bad person. It's like that. It's like that Jaden Animations video about relationships. Have you two seen it?
Mm-hmm. I don't think so.
No.
Fucking, oh my god, right, I need to send you this video. It will change your life and how you look at relationships with people, right? But effectively, she talks about the fact that, like,
I love that stuff.
you know, two people could be great but just not be good together. And I'm like, that's exactly what happened there.
Oh,
It
that
could be
rings
as
a
well,
bell.
like, sometimes people have small personality
Clashes.
clashes, or even some things that might be a personality defect in someone, but they're either not aware of it, or they might be aware of it and they're trying really hard to change it, but they find it difficult to change it.
I had a kind of friendship, not breakdown, because I'd say we're acquaintances now. We don't really talk that much anymore, but we are still in a similar friend group. Like my ex-partner, all like how to explain it, Amy, who's been in a bunch of my videos, her and her boyfriend, there's a big friend group and we're all in the same group, and this girl was part of that as well. We used to go like bouldering together all the time, like every week, and we used to like be really, really close, but she was going through something really, really horrific in her life. Like it was really bad, and I think because she didn't really, what I saw as, it's hard to explain. Basically, she started having little digs at me all the time, and I started letting them slide, because I was like, right, she's going through a lot, let it slide. But it got to the point where it was all the time, little digs constantly, or like she would start like saying wee things about the guy that I was with at the time, wee things to try and make me, almost as if she was trying to make me jealous, which was really weird. And I just put it down to, right, she's going through this thing, and I thought maybe like she doesn't have control over that, and this is the one thing that she has control over. So she's sort of doing that. But it got to the point I was like, my god. So I sort of ranted about it I spoke to her about it first, and I said I feel like this is quite one-sided at times, like, because I was putting in all the effort in the friendship and stuff, and she said, I'm sorry you feel that way, and I was like, oh. And then I spoke to my then boyfriend about it, and he ended up talking to, just in passing, he spoke to one of his friends about it, and like I said, we're all in the same friend group, and then that guy went and told his girlfriend that I hated her, this other girl that has the digs, and I was like,
oh, Chinese whispers went all the way around.
But he's like, and I was like, we're not in high school, like, what is this? So I thought, right, I'm not having this, and I messaged her when I found out about this, and I was just like, right, we need to meet up, because I heard that you were told that I hate you or something, which sounds so childish. I was just like, what is this? Who said that? Why would that be said in the first place? And she said, oh, I was really hurt by it, blah blah. And I was like, well, why didn't you come to me? I was like, if I'd found out one of my close friends said that, or supposedly said that, I'd be right away, like, on the phone.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? So I didn't appreciate that. So we met up and we talked about it, and we obviously realised that it was a total miscommunication. And I was like, I've actually told you all the stuff that I've said. And it just got completely twisted, like in a very childish way. I was like, what the hell was that? And then from then on, it just sort of like all fizzled out, I guess. It was a shame, but she was going through a lot, and obviously it's very different now. And I've seen her at like group things and stuff, and she's lovely. Like, we got on really, really well. It's just a shame that that happened at that time. But obviously now, like, again, I guess if we try to rekindle things, then I'm sure it would be different. But it was a shame. It was needless. That's the thing, and that's why you have to be honest and talk to people about how you're feeling. So that these silly things don't happen.
I guess I'm very different from you guys in that way, because I don't think I've ever had that situation. Like I don't really like confrontation unless it's someone that I don't know and I feel like some random person stepped out of line. But I don't like
it either,
confrontation,
but sometimes
especially
it's
with people I know.
got to be done. Sorry, Sean.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I've always avoided it, like especially with people that I know, or people that I know other people that I know, and so I either vibe with someone or I don't.
What do you do if you don't vibe with somebody then, and they keep if they kept wanting to hang out with you, but you were just?
I would either keep replying to them or ignore them,
right?
And that's terrible, but that tends to be what happens, because I'd rather not have the confrontation.
Gotcha.
But then surely eventually you get the message.
Yeah, and you know what? Sometime I might meet that person somewhere, and we might have a great chat, and but I'd rather just meet them and have a spontaneous chat.
So that's why you stopped texting me. But I'm joking.
No, it's not like that. I'm like that with a lot of people. Not for the reason that I think we don't vibe together. It's just I just tend to be like that, which is not good. But I've not really had any confrontations like that. Like anyone that I was friends with, and I'm not anymore. It's not that. See, this is the thing. I don't feel like I'm not their friends anymore. I just feel like at this current moment, I'm not speaking to them regularly. And if I bump into them, I probably would. It'd be like nothing ever changed.
Things change all the time as well.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's a weird one.
It's funny how relationships all work. Like 2 of my closest friends, I made friends with them through this horrific ex-boyfriend that I had. Dated him for about 2.5 years, 3 years, and he was horrendous. But I've made this like amazing friendship out of it with these girls that I met through his friends, and we still see each other all the time and talk all the time. And it's like that relationship was so horrible, but if I didn't have that, I would never have met these people. It's mad.
Yeah.
The world works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and that's I like people. I like people, right? Good. I like personalities, and I like meeting as many people as possible. And I might have a really deep connection with them in one moment, and then it's gone the next, and that's totally fine with me. Like I feel that's cool. Like I love going to new places I've never been before and just talking to strangers. Like if I especially if I'm tipsy and I go to a bar, I'll just go around and speak to loads of different people.
I'm exactly the same actually. You know how I was talking about being really nervous and stuff? See, when I've had a drink and I'm in a bar or something, I will talk to anyone. Like I'll be at the bar ordering a drink, I'll just start talking to the people next to me. And I have met a few people that way, and it's just fun.
It's fun, yeah.
That could be a very Scottish thing though. Like I had friends actually when I met up with you, Sean, remember the Shiki that was with us? He was from America, and he couldn't believe like how much Scottish people just talk to anyone and everyone. Like it's just what we do.
I love it.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of times.
I mean, I found that in the States as well. I think it just depends where you are. Like, but we Scots are definitely like that. But it's like I could meet someone randomly and have a really great conversation with them, and I'll be like, oh, here's my Instagram or here's my phone number. Be good to speak again. But I'll also be equally happy if we never speak again.
Yeah, I get that. I often don't feel like really close to someone unless we've like properly shared stuff. Like we've went and we've had deep conversations and stuff. That's how I tend to like feel close to people.
Well,
that makes sense.
What's closer than
thing?
I was going to say, what's closer than telling you about the time that somebody queefed on somebody's face and they were going down on them? It's
how funny was that? Oh, that was one of my favourite. I think that was my favourite episode.
Definitely, that was a good episode.
If you're like, yes, and went over the rainbow bridge to the blah blah blah, and it was just couldn't stop taking the piss. And see, actually looking back on that recording, I missed you mentioning the queef because I was so busy laughing at how you were going about telling the story that I missed it. It was only when I listened back, and I knew you were talking about queef anyway, it was obvious, but when I didn't actually hear the bit where you announced it, I just thought you were like skipping over it. And then when I listened to the recording, I was like, oh my god, I was so busy laughing at the way, the poetic way you were talking about it. I missed the actual main point of the story. It was funny.
It's so funny.
But even like us three, right? We talk about things like this, quite deep stuff. But then there's probably been periods when we've not been in touch for like literally. But there's probably been periods of like 6 months or more when we've probably not been in touch as much, like before we did the podcast, for example. Yeah, and it's cool. Like we just started talking again, and it's like nothing ever happened.
They could be great. They're some of my favourite friendship though. Is like people, like, when you've been apart for 6 months, 9 months, but you pick up exactly where you left off, and there's no animosity or expectation between either party of, like, why haven't you texted me? Why haven't you texted me? You know, it's not that. It's
no need for that.
You both know, both parties know, we're working, we've got families, we've got jobs, we've got all this other stuff on. We just catch up when we can, you know?
Like, I do get that, but my sim bar just goes right down in those situations.
Right down. But that's why you've got some other friends that you're, like, close to, that you can see and speak to daily, and then you've got other friends that you can have that with.
Yeah, exactly. I do have people that I have that with.
Like,
but
I definitely feel...
But it needs to get topped up now and again.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I mean, I definitely feel, for me, like, my closest friends, the ones I've known for years, have had to be very patient with me. Like I said, there'll be times when I just don't want to speak to anyone, and I've not answered their calls or whatever. And I know a lot of people would hate that and be upset about it.
But if people are, like, close to you and they're your friends, they'll understand that that's how you are, and that a lot of times social media, like WhatsApp, etc., can make you anxious, and they'll understand that sometimes you just don't want to talk to people, and that's fine.
Exactly.
And they'll get that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
But I think a lot of people listening to this will maybe be wondering, like, how do you make friends as an adult? Because when you're a kid, like, it's great, you just, like, walk about and be like, do you want to play with me? And then it's, like, fine. But as an adult, it can be really difficult for people to make friends, because you're working all the time, and you're just, like, you don't have a lot of time to mingle and sort of do stuff. So how would you maybe give, like, what advice would you give to people that are looking to make friends as an adult? It's a really hard one.
This is a hard question, because my personality, I'm somebody who'll just talk to anyone. Mm-hmm. So I find it very easy. Like, I'll go somewhere and speak to someone, and it's great. You know, and my wife, for example, is very opposite. She has her friend groups, but she finds it difficult to meet new people. And so I tend to be like an introducer as well. Like, I'm good at meeting people and then putting them together, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's just my personality, so I find it very easy to make friends wherever I go.
Well, that's kind of how I met yous, wasn't it? Really, like, yous were friends, and then Gav and all that, and, like, I met yous all together because you, like, introduced everybody.
Yeah, and I love that. I think for me that's the best feeling, is when you put people together that could also hit it off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I love that feeling. Like, I'm so happy when I have two people that I know that could be friends, and then, like, I introduce them. I love that feeling. And that's kind of off the point. But I find it difficult to answer this question, because it's easy for me, my personality, but I know that it's difficult for other folk.
I get
so I don't know. I mean, just go out and speak to people. I get that's bad advice, but that's what I do.
Well, I think that's where social media has come in really handy for me. Like, I've met so many close friends through Instagram, or, like, through just, like, people that have similar interests. Like, I follow so many hill walkie people on Instagram because I like walking and stuff. So there's people that I've never met on Instagram that I really want to meet, and that I feel like we could be really good friends. And we've talked about meeting up and stuff, but we just haven't done it yet. And I know that if I didn't have friends in my current personal life, then that would be really, really good. That would be really beneficial. Go on Instagram and start these, meet up with these people that I've been talking to.
Definitely. I mean, that's a good thing, like you said, about social media as well, is you can always find people who are like-minded as well by just doing a search.
And the same with, like, joining groups. Like, one of my friends, she's really into, like, Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, right? Can't relate, don't know anything about it.
D&D.
She loves that stuff. Yeah, and her husband just joined a group, and they've made all these new friends from their little D&D group, and I'm like, that's amazing.
I think one thing that's quite cool about that, there's also a practical thing. So, like, if you want to do an activity that is not necessarily dangerous, but it's better if you don't do it alone, like, I don't know, kayaking
pottery.
Or the what?
Nothing. Tom, I just said
what
pottery.
Was that? Pottery. That's not dangerous.
It's the first thing I thought of. I know, I don't know.
But you know what I mean? Like, there could be activities that you really want to do, like rollerblading or...
Oh, calm down there, Shaun.
Calm down. But, it's things that, if you fell over, it'd be better if you were with someone. Yeah. That if you go online and you find a community of people and say, listen, I would love to go and meet somebody who also likes rollerblading or whatever it happens to be, that you do it for a practical reason, that it's better to do it when you're not alone, but then you end up making friends that way.
Yeah, there's groups for everything.
The thing is that there's, I mean, I wish I could give, like, to all the really introverted introverts out there, I wish I could say that there's a magic button you can press to make friendships happen, but you have to, there are two options for you. You either have to learn to speak to people either online or in person, or you have to just wait around long enough to be adopted by an extrovert. So like you have to not be shy in the sense of like actually speaking to people. But I agree with you guys, and stuff that's already been said is finding common hobbies. Like most of my friends that I've made as adults I've met through things. Like for example, one of my friends that I've met loads of my friends that I've met more recently have been through the Discord group that we created for Bleach. And I've met a whole bunch and now we're going to Madrid in like 2 weeks from now. There's a bunch of us meeting in Madrid. So cool. My friend Ruby that I went to Japan with, we met because of Bleach fan fiction. We met through an online website, and then these were all people that I met because I wasn't afraid to put my hands up and say, "Oh, I'm going to talk to you," or "I'm going to start this Discord group," and then start bringing all these people in. Another friend, Swiftla, that I met, she lives in Canada, and she and I become so close online. And she and I met through a game called Wolfden online. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you reach out to people and you start talking to people. And in Discord, joining Discord groups can be a great way of being able to get to know people. Yeah, Reddit's another one, I think joining something that's very niche, like a very niche group, like for me it was Bleach, going to Bleach Discord groups, or Zelda and Link for the Legend of Zelda games Discord groups. Or Wolfed in the game, like Discord groups. This is how I've made a lot of my friends recently online. Have been through these groups. So finding a hobby.
I think it's a fact as well that no matter how niche or how unimportant you feel that the thing that you like is, you can guarantee that there will be another group of people online that will also be into it, even if it's something really weird.
100%, yeah.
Tammy, I'm laughing to myself at the thought of people listening to this who don't know what Bleach is, thinking that you're just an obsessive tweener who just loves
anime. Okay, just to be, I know, why did he call it that, right? Okay, it's because he was a Nirvana fan, and their first album was called Bleach, and now his second thing that he's made is called Burn the Witch, and that's a Nirvana song. It's a whole thing. Bleach is an anime, ladies and gentlemen. It's an anime. It's 366 episodes, bunch of manga chapters. It's coming back this year. We're very excited. It's fine.
Just loves cleaning.
So it's not about the passion for cleaning toilets.
No.
Damn it, I thought this whole time. So one of the
get the yellow duck bottle out.
You saw me up your wee duck bottle. Anyway, so one of the questions I was going to ask, which I feel like we might have potentially already answered, is what do you do to make sure you're a good friend? Like what? But then at the same time, I feel like you said you're very honest, Tammy.
I'm honest. I was about to say.
But you said you value honesty, so I feel like that's something that you feel like you bring to a friendship, and the things that we look for in a friendship might be things that we feel like we bring to a friendship.
I feel like as well I also bring my strong personality. Like some of my friends that I will are people that don't do confrontation. They absolutely do not do or deal well with confrontation. But if they travel with me, if they travel with me, they don't have to worry about confrontation because I'll sort that shit out for them. You know. So in other
words, if somebody tries to steal their lunch, you'll sort them out.
100%. Like or somebody rips them off. Like if they come to me and they're like, I think I got the wrong change back. I think he did me out of 10 quid. Well, I'm fucking going up to speak to him. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, I would do that. Yeah.
I know that's me. I'm that friend. I'm that person that you take with you. So I bring that to the table. Is like I will not allow my friends to get bullied. It's not happening. You know what I mean? So I bring my strong personality and my unabashed confrontationalness.
Yeah.
Within reason,
that's
obviously.
Really
I'm not
skill.
just walking up to people and starting fights, you know what I mean? But like if I feel like somebody's been ripped off.
Sorry, like the angriest person.
It's like I'm not going out with Tammy, otherwise we'll end up in jail.
No, like what are the tests? I think one of the friendship tests that I remember me and a bunch of friends did once. It was like somebody's just came into the room and made your friend cry. Your friend runs through one door and the person who made them cry goes through the other. Which door do you go through? And everybody says, they would go after the friend that was crying. For me, I'm going after the bastard who made them cry because I'm going to deck them. That's mad. Like, somebody else could deal with the crying person. I'm shit with that. Like, that's a Hufflepuff, so you can go and deal with the crying person. I'm so bad at that.
Yeah.
Don't come at me and cry, please. I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to... But if you need me to punch somebody for you, that I can do that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Or get your lunch money back or whatever. Like that's my skill set.
I'll
do that part.
I love that.
Yeah, and I feel like Shaun, you would say like your positivity and spontaneity and all that, you know.
Yeah, so I think for me, that's something I definitely bring as a friend. Like, I'm very positive and I'll uplift the mood, and I'll encourage people to step out their comfort zone and try new things and do new things.
That's good.
People who don't really feel comfortable at doing stuff, I tend to push them to do stuff that they never thought they could do. So that's a positive side, definitely. I'm also good at, if somebody comes to me with a problem, is like putting a good light on it and turning it around and making people feel better about things.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like, I think I like to think that I'm a good listener, and people can come to me for anything. Like, non-judgmental, will not judge about anything.
I guess on something I need to work on more would be organisation, and being more attentive and responding. And I'm not doing it's not something I do out of malice or just being a bad person.
No.
It's just about something I need to work on. I need to get better at. And I think I could also probably say no more, definitely. And I could think maybe slightly less impulsive. I think there's a balance between being spontaneous and like holding the reins back and things.
That's interesting. These are good answers, guys. The last thing that I wanted to ask, right, and I feel like we can probably
Did
do
we
this
get your
quite briefly. It's
answer
not
to
like a
that,
deep
Erin?
question.
Yeah, I didn't get yours.
Yeah.
No, I was saying, like, I feel like I'm a good listener, and you can come to me and I won't judge you on. You could tell me about something, and I'll be like, oh, right, okay. Yeah. So, how do your friends feel about your YouTube channels? Like, are there any of your friends that are like, what is she doing? Or are they all just like, go, you go, girls, you know?
That's a good question, because to be honest, I don't tend to bring it up.
Yeah, me neither.
Very quick. I don't like. I'll bring it up if it's somebody who knows I do YouTube, and I'll talk about it. But like, I've only ever had positive reaction to it. But then, I don't know, when I never really talked about it much when I was getting started. And I think now that it's kind of like, I wouldn't say successful, but semi doing all right, people can see the benefits of it. And it brings lots of good opportunities. So people see that and think it's cool. Like, I've never really had any negative reactions.
That's so interesting, because like all my friends know that I do YouTube, and like even my friends do. Like Amy, she'll be in a few of my videos and stuff, and I did a video with the friends that I was talking about that I mixed at the birthday. Did a vlog with them, and I think, but saying that, I think my friend Cheryl is the only one that occasionally watches my videos.
None
the
of
others
my
are just
really
like,
watch them.
The others are like, love you, but don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'll occasionally
Which is
have
fair
friends quote stuff at me, like, and I'm like, you watched that? And they're like, oh yeah. Like, if it's got a really ridiculous title, some people might pull it up and watch it, but...
One thing I must admit, and I don't know, it'd be interesting to see how you guys feel about this, but I feel massively uncomfortable with, if I'm out doing videos, putting people who are not already on YouTube, if that makes sense. I hate filming people who are not part of the situation. Like, I know for us, like, if we went out and went hill walking or something, like, we'd all be filming each other because we know the score.
Yeah.
But like, if someone who's not involved, like, I feel really uncomfortable with, like, just shoving a camera in their face.
I always double check.
Ask them,
like,
yeah.
But there's a lot of vloggers out there that do that, and it's one of the best things about their videos is that they get these spontaneous reactions from people. I would love to do it more, but I feel very nervous about it.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like there's a consent thing there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you have to double check. But I've had a few like Hogmanay videos before where I'd go to a Hogmanay party, and I would ask all my friends beforehand, like, if anyone's not okay with me filming, just let me know, and I'll message everyone. I'll send people the footage before I put it in, and it's all these people that aren't on YouTube at all, and it's like that friend group that I was talking about, and I've got loads of videos with them in it, and it's so funny because it's just all so candid. And they're not used to YouTube, and it's absolutely brilliant. And I'm so glad I have these videos. Like, I filmed one of my friend's weddings not that long ago, and it was amazing getting everyone who isn't on YouTube in this one video, and everyone was so funny. It was great. Just all naturals. Yeah, it's an interesting one.
I feel like in the world of like Instagram and TikTok, people are getting more used to it in general.
Yeah, and especially if they know that that's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, does anyone have anything else that they want to mention about friendships? Because that is all the questions, or those are all the questions I was going to ask.
No, really, for me, I mean, it's a topic that I don't really think about, to be honest. I just kind of get on with it, so it's quite interesting to actually speak about it.
Yeah, we can give a wee shout out to our pals right now, eh? I'll give a wee shout out to all you beautiful cunts. Love yous all.
Go for it.
No, that was it. Just that they're all cunts. I love them.
Well, mine won't listen to this, so
Me neither.
Neither will mine. Sad times.
I know, so we could say whatever we wanted about them. They ain't listening. Which I'm very glad about, actually, because I've had nobody come back to me about that story that I told, so I'm very, very thankful. But I've had one friend come back, but he stays all the way out in Wisconsin, so there's not many people he can influence, so it's fine.
I made a new wee Instagram pal that sometimes listens to these podcasts, so he might be listening. He probably, I don't know, he might not. But if you are, hello. But oh god, I'm embarrassed now. I'm actually embarrassed. Let's move on to.
You know what's just quickly on that though. One thing about having like the audience that we've got, like, I mean, there's some people that you know that you should probably not interact with too much, but there are like some of the regulars that you always see that they're nice people, and I kind of treat them as friends as well a little bit.
Sometimes.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. That is. You do get the people that are very supportive and good eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good eggs. So that's a lot of people listening now. So, like my friend group extends to people who are also in the audience.
Oh,
cute.
And is the delivery man in the pod? Is he?
Nah, he was going my wife onto the door. He's not part of it.
Next time.
Next time.
So, usually at this point in the podcast, we talk about something that we've been loving over the last 2 weeks, and it can be absolutely anything, from food to drink to TV show or whatever. So, what have you guys been loving over the last 2 weeks?
You want to go, Tommy?
Okay, well,
don't
I
all
went round
start speaking at once. Sorry.
My dad and his wife Julie were away on holiday this week, so given some of the stuff that's been happening in my family recently, I didn't want my little brother Kyle to be by himself for too long, so I was round at his on Wednesday night, and we made homemade pizza together. But also I asked him, because he'd been chatting about his friend trying to get him into League of Legends or something, and he was saying that like he's not really big on those types of games, he's not a big fan. And then I was like, have you seen the TV show, like the League of Legends TV show? Because it's like you don't have to have played the games to enjoy it. And he was like, oh no, I've not. So we actually put the first episode of that on, and the programme's called Arcane. Now I've seen it, it's only 9 episodes by the way, and I've seen it, and it is, oh god, it's so good. And it's like, you don't need to have played the games, you don't even need to know anything about League of Legends at all. It's just loosely based on the world and stuff and some of the characters. But it's on Netflix, 9 episodes long, called Arcane. We watched the first episode about 45 minutes, and he was like, oh my god, we have to put the next episode on. So that was him so nice. Kind of hooked. It's very good. The animation style, like, don't look it up, just put it on and just start watching it. The animation style, if you see pictures of it, can be a bit like, whoa, that's a bit strange, but see when you see it flowing, oh, yeah, it's so good. And I will admit, like, that's been watching that show again, because I did watch it a while ago, but I got back into it recently, and now I want to watch it through one more time. There's a character in it that I was like, reminded me why I was bisexual. It's like there's one female character in it, and I was like, yeah, that's why, that's it, right there, that's it.
Makes sense.
She is the one.
Yeah, she is. It's like, I consider myself quite a dominant person, but I wouldn't be for her, it'd be fine.
What about you, Shaun?
Yeah, I mentioned a wee bit at the start of the recording. I was in Mull last weekend, and it's just a really cracking place. I really like Mull. I've been there loads of times before, and I've always stayed in the Isle of Mull Hotel and Spa, and it used to be really, to be honest, run down. But it was in a cracking location. But they've reformed it, and it's just amazing. I loved it.
Is it pricey or is it reasonable?
I think they've got all different options.
Right.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good.
But Isle of Mull in general is just a lovely place to go and visit. It's a very big island, so it takes a good day to drive around it basically. But Tobermory is a nice wee town. There's lots of good food and drink there, lots of good wildlife, lots of good walks, and lots of other interesting wee bits like Iona, another island, and Stafford, other island. But you want the good weather for it, but it is a cracking place. So if anybody's thinking of somewhere to go in Scotland, I would recommend it.
Is it quite easy to arrange travel for going there?
So you can there's 2 ways to go. So you either can be super organised and book ahead of time the ferry from Oban, which I am
Off
not.
Oban.
I was about to say that,
As you can
Shaun.
predict, as you could probably predict, I arranged a trip the day before we left, right? And the ferry from Oban to Mull was fully booked. But you can go the long way around via Fort William, where you get a small ferry over to Ardnamurchan, and then you get another small ferry on to Mull on the backside of the island. It's just a much longer drive round, but those ferries you don't need to book. You just turn up and they'll take you over.
Okay, interesting.
So there's
That's
basically
good to
2 or
know.
3 ways to get onto Mull. Like you can get the main ferry from Oban is the best way to go, to be honest.
Because I've always wanted to go to Mull, but I've never looked into it. So
Go for it.
Definitely
Honestly,
everyone
you'd
has
love it. I think you'd love it because you like outdoor walks and there's loads of that.
maybe I should do a solo trip.
Definitely.
myself.
It's a good place for that. Yeah, find
Or
yourself.
feel free to take me with you.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
god. We should do a group trip to Mull
Yes.
That would
or
be good.
I'll get
any
for that.
other island. I don't care. Somewhere.
Somewhere.
The thing again that I've been loving these last 2 weeks. I actually just started it yesterday, and I asked for recommendations on Instagram for things to watch, and I ignored every single one of them, and I started watching this crappy reality TV show again called The Ultimatum, and it's the same people that make Love Is Blind that I mentioned before, and oh my god, it's so, like, I was like, oh, this is good because this is like nice and light-hearted, and this will take me out of all the stuff I'm going through just now. Oh my god, it's just so stressful. It's about relationships,
Wow.
and one person gives the other an ultimatum, and it's just horrendous, and then they go and live with other people and date other people for a while, and it's just so stressful, and I'm absolutely loving it.
Wow. Sounds good.
Awesome.
So that's, sorry, I thought my earphones weren't working there because something else popped up. Got a message and then I couldn't hear it. Anyway, yeah, so that is my thing that I've been loving these last 2 days actually. It's so bad though, you probably should never watch it, but it's so good at the same time.
Sometimes though what you want is shite. You know what I mean? Like sometimes shite is
Oh.
great. Sometimes it's so good.
I'm just gonna like get that one quote and just put that on every part of social media. Just you going, sometimes you just need shite.
Yeah, take me out of context. It'll be fine. That could possibly never end badly for me. It's fine.
There's so many bits of these podcasts that could be taken really out of
Oh,
balance.
yeah.
God, we should do that one
I
day.
strongly encourage
No.
anyone listening not to do that.
Please don't.
So yeah, it's finally time for us to hold our Wheesht, but before we do, make sure you get the chance for your voice to be heard. You can rate us on Spotify or iTunes, and are we on iTunes yet, Tammy?
I have no fucking clue, Erin. I've not checked it out for a while.
Well,
I don't know.
whatever platform we're on, you can rate us.
I know we're on Google
but more importantly-
Podcasts because they're not a fussy bunch of twats.
No, exactly. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like the video if you want, and feel free to send us your comments about the episodes, and we'll be in the comments lurking to reply. And follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Haud or Wheesht, or Haud or Wheesht podcast on YouTube. And we'll be back again in May.
Aye.
So thanks very much. See you later.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
So long, farewell.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Goodbye.
Adieu. Adieu.
To you. And
Please
to
let
you.
that singing part
Adieu.
be in the podcast.
Adieu.